Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. We're on a mission, and we need your help. We need to keep our food and drinks healthy and safe.
And tasty, too.
But, more importantly, we need to help the entire Earth.
Whoa, how are we gonna do that?
Well, if we all work together and learn a little bit more about glass, we can make a difference. And have fun doing it. Wait, not yet. First, there's some work to do. Are you guys ready for an adventure? Are you ready to learn how glass containers can make life on Earth a whole lot better? Then put your thinking caps on and let's go. First, I should probably share a little history about glass and why glass containers became an important way of packaging things. Thousands of years ago, before people even knew how to make glass, they would find it in nature. Lightning would strike sand, making it so hot that it would stick together, creating long tubes of glass.
Seriously?
Yep. And volcanic eruptions would cause rocks and sand to stick together, making obsidian, a dark, shiny glass that people would use for making jewelry, money, and knives. After hundreds of years, people learned how to make glass in small furnaces. They made colored jewelry, vases, jars, and jugs. People who sold food and drinks learned a valuable lesson. They learned that drinks, honeys, and oils could be carried and stay much more fresh than when stored in wood or clay containers.
How do they actually make these glass containers?
When glass was heated up and soft, people learned how to blow glass with a long pipe. It became much easier, and pretty soon, it was common for people to store goods in glass jars, bottles, cups, bowls, and vases. They even learned how to make stained glass windows. Over 150 years ago, glass bottles were actually used to hold medicine. Folks also depended on glass jars to preserve their food. Companies that sold food and drinks began to perfect ways of keeping their products fresh and pure. Nowadays, glass makers have figured out how to make all kinds of glass containers really fast. Teams of people and big machines, even robots like me, help make many, many glass containers each day.
Wow!
Yep, consumers love glass and how it takes care of the food and drinks they buy.
What exactly is a consumer?
That's a good question. A consumer can be you, me, your parents, or anyone who buys food and drinks at a grocery store. Come on. Let me show you why consumers, or you and me, are lucky to have glass containers protect what we eat and drink. You know, most foods and all of our drinks have to sit inside a package or container for a while before we eat or drink them. It's important that they stay as fresh as possible so they don't go bad on us. Remember these 3 words: purity, quality, and healthy. If the packaging doesn't do its job, what's inside will lose its purity. For example, let's say Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled peppers. If he wanted to send some to you, he has to choose a container to put them in so they'll stay fresh and safe on the way over.
A glass container is best, right?
Yes, it's actually what most people prefer. They feel better about using glass compared to paper, plastic, or metal packaging. Peter's pickled peppers are pretty tasty, and they'll stay tasty inside a glass jar, even if they have to travel across the country in a truck or sit on the shelf at a supermarket waiting to be bought.
So Peter Piper picks his packaging for purity?
Exactly.
So why is it such a good choice?
Well, let's say we let this pickled pepper sit on the counter for a while, and this pickled pepper sit in the jar for a while. Peter's pickled peppers are of high quality, but if they sit out in the open, air and moisture will surround them and make them less tasty over time. Glass is non-porous and impermeable. Some containers have a lot of teeny tiny holes that let outside air get to the inside, which hurts the food. Glass doesn't. Glass is actually like having a protective force field around the food or drink inside. It doesn't let moisture in or out, and it actually keeps those good smells inside until you open it.
So why are there different colors of glass jars and bottles?
Great question. Some folks who sell food and drinks like the way it looks. Some colors are very pretty. But did you know that brown and green glass can protect what's inside from the sun's harmful UV rays? That way, food or drinks that are sensitive to sunlight can stay fresh for a lot longer. So, if glass helps the purity and quality of things we eat and drink, it helps the food stay more healthy.
You know what I like about glass? It's not stinky like some other containers. Sometimes I think I can taste the stinkiness. Blech.
That's right. Glass is tasteless and odorless, so you only taste or smell what's inside the jar or bottle. People who package their food or drinks in glass really do care about their product and care about you.
Glass is the only packaging material that is generally regarded as safe. Who says so? The FDA are the people who make sure food and packaging are safe and healthy in America.
Whoa, what is that smell? Shoo-wee!
That's tons of stinky, rotten trash. And a huge amount of it is packaging material, containers and old packages that once held food and other products. Unfortunately, people make a lot of trash and throw away a lot of trash. If packages and containers aren't recycled or reused, they'll end up here in a landfill. I've even seen them thrown in ditches and lakes, and that's not good for our environment.
What's in an environment?
It's the world around us, the earth, the sky, the air we breathe. And we've got to make sure we keep it as clean as possible.
So how can glass help?
I'm glad you asked. Come on, let me show you why choosing glass is a nice thing to do for our environment. The planet Earth will thank you.
I will indeed thank you.
Glass can be recycled over and over and over again. Every bit of a bottle or jar can be turned into another glass container, and it never has to end up in a landfill or as trash along the roadside.
Wow.
Remember what we learned about the purity and quality of glass?
Yep.
Well, glass never loses that purity and quality, even when crushed, melted, and reformed into new bottles and jars. Get this, a glass bottle can go from the recycling bin to a store shelf in as little as 30 days. Remember what cullet is?
Cullet is recycled glass from bottles and jars.
Yes. And the more people recycle glass, the more cullet we can use to make new glass containers. Here's why that can help the earth. When making glass containers, we rely on digging up limestone, soda ash, and sand from the ground. We call these things raw materials. The earth has a bunch of these particular raw materials. But if we use more cullet, we won't have to spend as much time digging.
So, recycling glass means we don't have to take as much material from the earth to make new bottles and jars.
That's right. Overall, using less raw materials and more cullet can help make the environment cleaner.
Where do people take their glass containers to be recycled?
Some companies can come by your house to pick them up. And in some areas, there are recycling centers where you can drop them off. People can look for recycling bins at schools, parks, and other public places. Some grocery stores even take glass containers and give you a refund for them. You know, I think you've learned some important things. Let's go tell the others what you've learned.
Did you know some families consume hundreds and hundreds of gallons of soda pop, juice, milk, and bottled water in 1 year? Yikes! Hopefully, these families are recycling the bottles, whatever they're made of. We should tell them to use glass whenever possible. The earth will thank us.
Yes, I will indeed thank you.
We need to spread the word about recycling glass because people are still throwing away glass bottles and jars. They throw away so many in a year's time that it'd fill up a tall building. That's all glass that can be turned into cullet and made into new jars.
So everyone, are we ready to tell others about why glass is good and why recycling glass is important? What keeps food and drinks more pure? What keeps things more tasty? And what is a healthy choice for packaging?
I promise to protect you by protecting your food and drinks. And when I'm done doing that, you can help me protect the environment by recycling me.
Good work, my boy. Our mission is accomplished. Thanks for your help. And thanks for coming along on our adventure. Now you can tell your friends and family about why we should all recycle glass. Together, we can help take better care of our Earth.
Thank you for recycling glass.